Good evening. 9:30, 9:31. um, I was working on a few things, and then I had to watch the video of yesterday to see if there was. I knew there were glitches. I just didn't know where. So there's a couple things that I'm going to recap over that were glitched over that you really couldn't hear. That everything is important. Um, I uh, I was I was like, oh, I hate whenever we get through the whole thing and then I find out that there's glitches and that we missed a couple things. But the first thing we need to do is start with the announcements. Today is September the 2nd. The announcements are again, I do have two pages, group pages on Facebook. The first one is the Oklahoma Bigfoot Predator Watch, in parentheses, antlers and surrounding areas. The next one is Choctaw Missing and Murdered Woman, WOMBMAN, Woman and Son Center and Database. Those are two groups on Facebook that I have, although I am in Facebook jail, and I sure hope we're getting a good broadcast tonight. Um, Also, the museum, CHUHTAY, it's called Chute Ranch Project, a Bigfoot Experience, and that's located at 202nd Street in Tallahena, Oklahoma. That is also opening up in September, in this month right now. So we are getting close to that Bigfoot museum that's going to open up in Tallahena, Oklahoma. We are going to be in that area tomorrow. This group that's going for the ceremony camp will be in that same town, same area, and we're hoping to have the curators visit the camp because they did say that they had just a little bit of time. So hopefully we can get them to visit the camp and talk with us and see what we're doing. Although they do watch this channel, I'm trying to see if I'm a little off here as far as balance. Camera looks a little bit. Don't want anybody to get a neck cramp. Okay, so the museum that's opening up in Tallahena, we're hoping that they come visit us so we can talk with them a little bit more and they can see what we're doing and maybe get some pictures together. And we will be sharing some photos, videos, noises that the Bigfoot makes in that museum. I've been asked to do a display, so I'm gonna put one in there. I love to share all this information and share everything that we're doing with as far as Bigfoots. This is a Bigfoot channel. This is what we um, are sharing information and knowledge about. But this weekend it is a ceremony camp, but we are going into areas where Bigfoots are known to be. And that's also why we've been having this channel so that the group knows what to look for, what to expect. Um, a lot of information that you don't get anywhere else. The next thing is there's someone out there named Katie. She's messaged a couple times wanting to go to the camp and future camps, but we haven't been able to connect. So, Katie, if you hear this broadcast, which I know you watch a couple, that get a hold of me. And my email is capital Jerry Williams 1927 at outlook.com. And I'm going to go ahead. I'll put that on so that you have that if, because I know that you want to be at the camp and I know you've been asking. So I'm going to leave this email with you one more time. I've left it on the comments on some of these videos for you. So we are at 0 day, they say. Okay, I'm gonna leave this up there, and anybody who needs to email me or anything, um, here's my email address. Hello, Cliff. Good to hear from you. I didn't see you yesterday, but it's good to hear from you. And Dayman, he says I can't find tobacco and cedar anywhere around here in town for this. Okay, I've got a little bit of tobacco and cedar. We can find out there. Um, so let's not worry about that. But bring the other medicines that we're going to be using, and well, I'm glad you let me know about the tobacco because I do have some. I don't have a lot that, and another friend is gathering some tobacco for me up north. I was supposed to get some sage from the white sage from California, but a friend hasn't sent that yet. So I'll bring the tobacco and the fans and eagle feathers and everything. Bring your ceremonial items, your ribbon shirts, everything for this ceremony. It's going to be at the Kamishi River in that area. Okay, the next thing up. Again, there will be no broadcast tomorrow. No broadcast tomorrow at 9:30 p.m. because we're going to be in the field. That's nighttime, dark time, quiet time. You won't see me on Facebook. You won't see me sending messages or calling anybody at those times, especially when everything's supposed to be quiet. I'm not going to be the disturbance. I'm not going to make that noise. David says, I have sage and sweetgrass. Great, great. We're going to need that. We're going to purify that air before we head out of there. And thank you for that, Damon. Faith Walker, hey, how you doing? Good to see you tonight. Very good to hear from you. I'm glad you're here. Okay, so there's no broadcast tomorrow night. So if you're able to subscribe to the channel, that way whenever we do post a stream, and you don't have to subscribe because it will be up, but I'm not sure if people get the streams, but I do know that they get the video. But if you do subscribe, you will get the announcement. And it's going to be periodic, sporadic, different times because we're only going to be able to stream when we get a little break or a little chance. But I do have a little stream and I'm going to share with you at the very end. Okay, so now I want to recap a little bit because it was a little glitchy last night, and I only really want to cover the parts that were glitchy because I watched this stream over always after the show or as soon as I can get to it, but I always watch it before the next stream so that I know if something was glitched out or was having problems, and I did see a couple. So I want to go over a couple things, but I also want to advance you in a couple of things. And that's what we're going to do tonight. The next thing is, as warriors, use this technique to zoom in on the waves, scales, or glitter of the scale of hair that is visible. I hear a dog outside, and we don't have dogs here, so maybe he's just passing through. I don't know. Now the Bigfoot. The Bigfoot is here through plasma scaling, uniformity, and cohesion. Now, like I said, we're going to advance. We're getting into more advanced terminology and symbols and signs and stories and hieroglyphs. So plasma scaling is, just taking, using the blood or hiding in the blood. Damon says, I might be late getting there at camp, but I will be there because I get my disability check tomorrow and I have to pay everything first. Then I can go to camp. Okay, Damon. When you get there is the right time. Don't worry about it. Just get there. You'll be fine. Well, I'm sure we're gonna have some people, guests there, and me and Malcolm can go over some things before you get there. And I just got word from Steve today that he's not going to be able to make it. And so I told him, I said, we've got to do this. We put it off, and we was waiting for him. He's going south to Louisiana to help look for missing people, which is understandable. Which is understandable, but we had planned this. We had to call camp off 2 times, I think, because we were waiting on him. But I also told him, I said, we can't wait any longer. We've got to get this ceremony done. And if you can't make it, that's fine too. Maybe at the next camp or something. But I got that news today, so we're gonna go ahead and advance, and he'll catch up. And that's what we do too. Every broadcast or every stream, we advance. So when people miss that stream or they don't watch for a couple of nights, then they come back here and try to, listen in. They're missing a whole bunch of information, a whole bunch of knowledge that we're talking about and where we're at. So you'll see people not comprehending or being able to keep up. And I don't want anybody to be discouraged. We do recap, we do go over things. Or we do have those streams up for you. So please go back and watch those streams. Like a lot of people here have been doing their homework. They've been saying to go back and and if you can really start, the furthest you go back, it's more about the Bigfoot. About middle ways, we start talking about the story, the legend of time, and then, as in 3 days ago, we started with the Fibonacci sequence. So that's what I'm talking about. We're advancing, and all the information is it's not hard to understand. We just have to understand what is being said. And once you know the symbols, the signs, and the language, you can decipher anything, and you can read anything, and all the hieroglyphs. Damon says, "What about the guy in Tulsa you was talking about too?" He never got back with me except for that one time. And there's another guy in Louisiana. Well, there's another guy in Louisiana who can't make it this time, and another guy in Arkansas who can't make it this time. But they said as soon as we can get another camp together, they'll all be there. And I told him, I said, we have to do this. We got to finish what we started. We got to go through with this. But we're going to do it in a safe way because we do know that there are Bigfoots in this area. And with the thermals and the night vision and everything like that, I can pretty much guarantee you that you're going to come back with some photos of your own, some proof of your own, which I don't know, Damon, I don't know if you've ever seen a Bigfoot yet, but I know Malcolm has. The guy who was supposed to make it, but he can't, his name is Steve. He's got some in that area. He's seen them. So we're all knowers. I'm not sure if you are, Damon, but you will see what we see out there. Okay, the Bigfoot is here through plasma scaling, uniformity, and cohesion. Now, uniformity is the same attributes of man to share the dream, like the same body kind of type, 2 arms, 2 legs, the head. And cohesion is more of a binding, not a spiritual binding like our binding, and we'll get to that. It's more like a sticking to our binding so that they could be here. And this is how the Bigfoot is here. It's stuck to our DNA and stuck to our plasma or our blood, our DNA. So it's not fully us, and it can't be us. But then again, with all the other DNAs of the animals, like we tell everybody, it's a combination of everything, but not a completion of anything. And when I say that, when I first said things like that, people was like, what are you talking about? So they're expecting the Bigfoot to be just one animal, half man, one animal, and that's it. But that's the whole. Everything's wrong about that. But that's what the scientists will say. That's what the professors, the guys with the PhDs, the books, the videos, and the conferences, Bigfoot conferences, they'll tell you things like that, but they're all wrong. Every one of them's wrong. Damon says, yes, I have male and female. Yes. Um, Faith Walker, like a counterfeit, exactly like a counterfeit. It's an imitator, um, but it's not us. But it's stuck to us. It's sticking to us. It's in the blood. It's You'll find it hiding in the blood. It's in there. Um, but it's not us. It's almost like us, and what we call mankind or man-like. It's almost like us, but it's not, and it can never be like us. So don't think it's a human because it's not. That will get you killed if you are out there with it. Damon said it's called encoding to have more than one blood in your body. Yes, it's well, look up the word plasma scaling also, um, because that's like it's taken from our blood, like the outside of our blood is like it's not our blood, but it's taken like the scales of the blood. I guess you would say it's trying to merge to be us, but it can't be us. It can never be us. Um, this is to be more manlike or of mankind or kind of like man, as also to share a dream. And we are in a dream, and we are understanding that we're all getting to that understanding. And like a few years ago, when I would say, we are the dream of the dreamer, but you have to know the dream, you have to know the dreamer to know the dream. And people would be like, well, what are you talking about? But this group here, this group here, you're learning all this, and we're going to go over just a little bit more, and we're going to advance a bit more. But you'll be saying exactly the same things that I will or have been, except you'll understand it. But other people else who are not, part of this channel or a lot of the other Bigfoot co-hosts or hosts or movie people or books or people, they want to watch this channel because it goes against everything that they've written in books, put in movies, or has talked about in their broadcast. They don't want. Actually, I'm surprised they haven't said negative things about this channel and try to deter people from looking at this, because if nobody knows, then they are okay to say what they say. But like for me and for like a lot of people here, because you have been learning all this knowledgeable ancient information, you know that these other guys are frauds. They don't know what they're doing. They're endangering people. They do everything wrong. Everything they know is wrong. Um, so now with cohesion and uniformity, um, energy predators wait in the dream world as a Bigfoot through cohesion can or enter into people's dreams once a connection has been made. So it's already stuck to us. It's already stuck to us. It has the attributes, it has the uniformity, it has the arms, it has our powers, I guess you would say. Plus, it has its predator kind of powers. And this, once you get into all this, you'll learn what the Superman is, the Batman is, the Green Lantern, Wonder Woman, Spider Man. You'll know where all these things come from, and you won't be fooled in TVs and movies like a normal person would be. Malcolm says, like trying to tell you that you didn't see what you saw. That is correct, and that people will, especially the other broadcasters and people who got the PhDs, the books, and everything. They don't want you to know this, and they're going to tell you that what I'm telling you is, some people call it gibberish, some people call it nonsense. Uh, Some people tell you that I don't know what I'm talking about, except I can write down all the figures, calculations, equations, show you in the hieroglyphs, show you in the map of the universe, show you in the Ojibwe sky map. It's all over the place. So they just don't know what we know. And I say we because we are all together now. We're all getting the same information. And you won't find this information anywhere else in the world unless you go to like the Vatican or, the palace, the heads of state. There are people who do know this, but they don't share with the general public. They keep all this information to themselves because it can be used against you. If you don't know all this stuff, you can't be manipulated. And that's why we always talk about people being programmed or being pre-programmed for a response. And that also goes like if somebody says dog, you'll say cat, you say water, you'll say bird or something like that. But we're programmed, or a lot of people are programmed. I'm not anymore, and a lot of people here are getting off that programming. But pre-programming means easy to use. That means you can be manipulated. They know your response. So if they bomb the Twin Towers, you're thinking war, and you don't care who it is. You're gonna think of whoever they tell you it's gonna be, because you're getting the information uh, from the one who's manipulating and deceiving you. So always remember that, especially TV. Don't pay attention really to the news. I don't news and things like that. I got more important things to do, and especially sharing this information, which I like to do. It's one of those important things. Um, as far now, the Bigfoot, once it makes a connection, and we do tell or we do ask people to practice those techniques to not get a connection, to block those connections. Once a Bigfoot can make that connection, and I don't know why so many people are so happy for that connection, like it's a good thing. It's not a good thing. Never communicate with a predator. If you understand what I'm saying, this is a predator you do not want to have any connection with. You don't want to have any contact with. But when Faith Walker says agree, all right. Yeah, and whenever the Bigfoot makes that connection, it can visit you anytime. It can find you in the mountains anytime. It's like your own signal, like two walkie-talkies. It's already got your signal. So wherever it's at, it can still find you. It can find you in dreams. That's why we say don't dream at all unless you are dreaming for a specific reason. There are traps in dreams, and we will be doing a segment on dreams also and more of the mind. But when a Bigfoot does make that connection, it will be in your dreams. You will see it in more places than you ever thought that you would. But it will visit you in dreams. It will feed on you in dreams. It will still feed on you, either fleshly or spiritually. It will feed on your energy in your dreams, or it will feed on you through the flesh and bone. Have no connection, have nothing to do with a Bigfoot or any like a wolf, a dog man, which is still the same DNA. It's just more DNA of wolf. Faith Walker says, just like foolish folks who get excited about connections on Ouija boards. Yes, those are doorways. We are able to open these doorways. We are able to communicate with Earth. And Earth is not the only being out there, I guess you would say. There are predators out there. So, even as what Faith was talking about, don't be trying to open portals. Don't be trying to go through portals. I know where some portals are. I know what's behind there. And there's only like a predator life outside these next portals. Earth is like the last holdout. And you may have heard this in movies and stuff like that, but we are the last holdout. We are the hope of everything. We're the hope of the sky. We're the hope of the water. We're the hope of the blood. We're the hope of the memory. We're the hope of the animals. We're the hope of the people. And like everyone knows, it only takes one person to change the whole world. But you have to go back to this one place I'll talk about in a little while. Um, and Damon says, because everyone has their own frequency, that's what they see and hear the Bigfoot. That's why they see and hear the Bigfoot. Yes, we all have our own bioacoustic rhythm. Our heart is bioacoustic. Bioacoustic can change our or damage us. With the right frequency, we can heal with that bioacoustic. We do have our own frequencies, and even like Damon was saying, or like we were talking about a while ago, it's like two walkie-talkies. Once they make that connection, you could be over here and it'll still find you. You go to sleep, it'll still find you. It feeds off the flesh and blood, also feeds off energy and dreams. Practice that technique. Do not get into any communication or a connection with a predator, especially a Bigfoot. A Bigfoot is the second best predator. Now you have the dogman, you have all these other creatures out there. But the reason the Bigfoot is the second best is because it likes the taste of human. That's where the face comes from. That's where the hands come from. And like we talked about yesterday, the hands, the feet, and the face are a deception. It's being used to. Now, remember, we are not sharing DNA with a Bigfoot, with a predator. We are not sharing that DNA. Man is not sharing that DNA. Remember, they stuck to it. Plasma scaling, they're stuck to it. So it's not a sharing. It's not a volunteer sharing. The DNA of the Bigfoot has been stolen or taken through betrayal. Now, if you remember the story, The Legend of Time, you would know that it was through betrayal. So that's the only way they're here. They will be here until judgment happens because they're stuck to our DNA. We'll always have them here with us. And once we get into the Aztec Sunstone, you're going to see that we are right at that point, if not at that point. And they are supposed to be here with us. And the Aztec Sunstone tells us that they will be here to the beginning. A lot of people say that to the end. I said, no, to the beginning. Right now, we're going through a growing process. So when we truly begin, it won't be here with us. No predators will be with us. No no vipers. Serpents will be. The grass snake, the good snakes will be here. But no predators will be. There will be no crows, no ravens, no wolves, no grizzly bears, no sharks, no octopus, no whatever predator it is, it will not be here once we get to the beginning. And we are right at that point. That's why this is very important, so that you know what's going on. And if we do got enough time tonight, I want to tell you, well, we'll save that for a number because that's going to take at least an hour. Okay, practice those techniques. The next thing, make sure we practice those techniques. Also practice that high stepping. When we get out in the field, we will go over a couple of things because if someone like the people at the museum or Katie, if she shows up with friends or family, or if she comes alone, that's fine too. But we will be going over these techniques before we go into the field the next day. But that night, because we're going to be at a separate camp, when we go to our night camp, that's where we're going on alert. We're taking our shifts. We're getting ready because we are in the field now. When we go back to the other camp for the talking, food, and all that, we're not in the field. Let your hair down, kick back, relax. And also tomorrow, whenever you're traveling, travel comfortable. Wear shorts, because it's going to be hot outside. Be comfortable. Cut off sleeves, tank top, whatever you want. Just be comfortable. Because you're going to be traveling. Damon's going to be a little late, so we're going to have time to sit around and talk about what we're going to do or go over things. But we want to enjoy ourselves at the same time. We want to have a good time while we're doing this. So dress comfortable. Now, when we go to our night camp, during the day, we're going to be here, training and everything. But when we go to our night camp, we go back on alert. We go into taking shifts, being observant. Boots. This is when you have your knife. This is when you have your spear. This is when you have your weapon. This is when you have your night vision, your thermal. But while we're at the camp and we're going to enjoy ourselves, we're going to enjoy the cool weather. We're going to enjoy maybe a little light rain, keep us cool. That's what we're putting out there as far as what we want to happen. Faith Walker says, to the beginning. I love that. Yes, we are there. We are there, and we're all there together. Everyone here is here at the same time. We're all going to go through this together. Now, when this change happens, we have to be connected to the earth so that we are not affected. You may have a person right next to you and you'll see a collapse. You'll see chaos, destruction, because the earth is cleansing, but you and I will not be affected as long as we stay connected. When we know these sciences, when we know the symbols, we know the stories, we have the knowledge, we get connected because we know how to connect. If we don't know all these things, we don't know how to connect. We're just taking the word off somebody who didn't know before us. So, Damon says, what they call the new Eden. In a way, but this place will be totally spiritual. It will be that dream world. You won't be eating. You will be smelling, like smell a flower. That's your sustenance. Touch water. That's your, we won't get back to that physically eating. And we did not eat animals until after the Legend of Time, and we will get to that part too. That's more an advancement, and that's a treaty with the animals that we made millions of years ago because of this attack. And like we was talking about but it did cut out a little bit. But if you look at a Bigfoot hair, if you ever get a sample, or if you, which we can get samples. It's no problem. We can get foot casts, and we could even kill Bigfoots if we wanted to. But I don't recommend that until we are fully armed and fully trained, because they are multiple hunters, and we need multiple hunters or multiple warriors. But the medulla of the hair, which is, the hair, the core is not there in a Bigfoot. Also with the exoskeleton of a spider, same way, or a bird's feathers. Some people have this. But you'll see the difference between man and a Bigfoot hair, because the Bigfoot hair is more like a gorilla hair, because the gorilla did come before the Bigfoot. But the Bigfoot hair tries to merge, like we was talking about. It tries to merge with the other DNA, because it's not one strand of DNA on that hair. It's multiple DNAs in one hair. That's why it always comes inconclusive. The only ones they can find is the human one, which is not even a human DNA strand. It's a scale of a DNA strand. And only the people here on this channel will probably understand what I'm talking about. Like the DNA of the hair scale of a Bigfoot, and you can look at this or look it up, but it merges. You'll see that it runs into each other and then blanks off in other directions. but it's merging with a nut, and you'll see it looks like it's caving in. It'll merge into another DNA because it's a multiple DNA strand. Man's hair, our hair, looks like lightning coming down, and it looks like there's rivers of water in between them. So that is the sun and the moon. Okay, man's hair looks like more like lightning or water, which is the sun and the moon. Man's hair flows into the rest like a river or waterway with lightning outlining a river. And that's lightning, that's the spark, that's the electrical current with the water. If you look at our hair, you'll see that it flows downward, but it also has, you'll see, because it looks like waterways, but banks or outlines of it. Ours don't merge, ours don't collide with something else. Ours flows just like water, just like the sun, because that's what we are. Okay, the next thing, that's the recap. And there will be just a little bit more recapping on what we're going to be doing for the group and everything tomorrow. But I want to go a little bit more over that Fibonacci sequence. I want to advance you a little bit more because I know you can already advance in the Fibonacci sequence without me even saying anything. Just remember the Fibonacci sequence is the sequence of life. Just remember that. The Fibonacci sequence is the sequence of life for a being, for one of us, for the cosmic spiritual baby being known as Earth. This is the way the Earth is formed. We are the same. We are formed the same way. And that's what I was talking about here. That these charts that we use to heal people is the correct sequence. And just like when we did Cliff's, I didn't ask him what his problems were, but I told him where his deficiencies are and what his problems would be and how we can correct that. And then later he wrote that we were spot on with it and that he had those problems before, but he had changed his diet also. So when we teach healing, and I do have these booklets, you are more than welcome to send an email to me. I will send you a booklet. We went over that booklet maybe 4 segments back, and I think it's titled Ancient Healing. But we go over that booklet to teach you how to build your immune system, to correct your deficiencies, to raise your pH level back above 7.5. And when you do that, you don't get sick anymore. And if you look at any journal, the only 2 ways for a body to naturally get sick, I don't mean injecting things into you or drugs or anything. I'm saying the only 2 natural ways that a body can become sick is through deficiencies and acidic levels. And that booklet right there, what we're learning and how I'm showing you how we get to the booklet with the Fibonacci sequence and the stories and everything. The booklet is just like a map for that, but I'm showing you how to use the map. But that's how we teach how to heal people, because everything flows into the other. Everything flows into the other. And like each section here, there's 4 sections, 1, 2, 3, and 4. But each section stops. Now you have another body section. So it's always a +1. And then a +1 here because you keep adding and keep adding and keep adding until you got all 12, which is 4 sections. But also the body that's the 3 essential minerals in each body section, but also the spirituality binding section has 3. So 3 and 4, you're going to see that number again. But this is the head. Where the head connects, this is a spiritual binding. Now, when you put your arms down to your sides, you're going to see that your wrist line up above the genital area. That's another spiritual binding. That's binding the body with the legs. That's the second spiritual binding area. The third binding area or spiritual binding area are the ankles. Remember that the head or the teeth, the feet and hands all have their own body parts. If you look at any foot chart or any hand chart, you're going to see the liver, you're going to see the heart, you're going to see the lungs, you're going to see everything like that. So that's 3 spiritual binding parts of all 4 connected sections. You're going to see that very soon. Even though everything that we talk about is very important because it all falls in to what we're sharing with you. Now, I'm going to show you a little bit of this. What we're going to go over today is a little recap, but we're also going to advance you a little bit in the Fibonacci sequence. Michelle Ebbs says, I respect your knowledge and thoughts. I'm still learning. I'm still hesitant that they are all bad. I don't believe that currently. Michelle Ebbs also says, mainstream media is all lies. Okay. Just saying that right there, Michelle, think about who gave you the information to where you made that educated guess towards a Bigfoot. Let's just think about that for a second, because right here, we're giving you all the knowledge. We're not going to lie to you. We're going to give you all the truths of everything. But when people still have that hesitancy, that it's only because you've been programmed, which understandably everybody has been. Everybody has been pre-programmed. Everybody knows what everybody else knows. Everybody says what everybody else says. That's why when somebody says, I got video of a Bigfoot, or I know a Bigfoot, or something like that, everyone will always say, prove it. If somebody says, I'm a Bigfoot expert, they're going to say, there's no such thing as a Bigfoot expert. There's no Bigfoot experts in this field. Everybody's pre-programmed to say exactly the same things. And once you get all this information and you've got it stored in you, you can say you're a Bigfoot expert, but you're going to hear exactly the same thing. Prove it, or nobody's a Bigfoot expert. SMA. Hey, good to hear from you. We was wondering about you last 2 nights. We was wondering about you. We didn't see you. She says, hello, everyone. Sorry I haven't been on. My move is done. My internet installation isn't complete still. I also had my brake lines go in 5th places and 1 vehicle during the move. I hate vehicle problems. And she also says, the phone is spotty where I am. I'm trying to stay on here. Actually, I hope that we're getting a good feed tonight, because yesterday it was a little glitchy, but the 3 or 4 days before that, it was really bad. But it seems to be getting better. I hope we got a good stream tonight, and I hope everybody's being able to listen to me. So now we're going to go to the Fibonacci sequence. We're going to advance just a little bit more, and I know you can already advance if you just remember what we've been talking about, and it makes perfect sense. Okay, so I'm going to change the camera real fast so I can get this for you. Oh, good. Thank you, Malcolm, for letting me know that we do have a good stream tonight. That is some good news, because I was getting tired of every night having to go back and go back and go back. Michelle Ab says, seriously, they need to feed upon our energy. Yes, I don't know if you just got into the room or if you've been here for a little bit, but we went over that just a little bit. about dreams feeding off energy in our flesh, but they are energy predators, as so many else are. Now I'm gonna do. Yes, somebody says you're good here. You're good here for me. So glad to be back, Jerry, and again, hear from you. Hey, JP. JP says, are there any good Bigfoot or dog men? No. They are predators. They are deception. They are a disguise to get closer to you, to eat you. Um, and I know that everybody's got the same information, and they're, I see this all over the place. But when people understand where a Bigfoot comes from, how it's here, and its job is, then it's not a good thing. It's a predator. Yeah, JP put laugh out loud. Yeah, I just finally said, let me just say no. Let me just because it's better if I'm just direct, and I'm showing you how I got to all that and how you will get to all this. But this is what we've been kind of going over already. We began with all this with the Fibonacci sequence. And if you haven't kept up, I would recommend that we go back and watch a couple of these segments because all this information is very important. It all adds up, it all gives you the correct information. And I also recommend that people download those streams and keep them for yourself because these streams do go off after 10 days, from what I understand. So, this is all information that you have now, but if you don't record it somehow, it will be lost again. And even though you will know all of this, you will have to either get a hold of me if you forgot something, or well, I would just say let's just download that if we can. Put them on a DVD for your family. Keep them. You can share this. It's all learning and teaching. Michelle Ebb says, "Holy S, you're blowing my mind." Michelle, this is all your knowledge. You're supposed to know all of this, and we're taking it step by step. We will get to the 144, the Fibonacci sequence, but we're going to show you that how Earth is, how we are, how we heal, um, and how Earth works, I guess you would say. So I'm going to start right here. Now, we all know this sequence right here. Now, can anybody here watching this stream tell me what this means? And I'll give you just a little bit of time because I would love to hear somebody say or tell me what this means in English. What would I be saying right here? I'm going to give everybody just a little bit of time. Let's call it a test question. It's just this top line right here, this one right here, this one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, I'm going to give you the answer. These symbols. Hey, Faith Walker, you are correct. Faith Walker. Is anybody else got the correct answer? Faith Walker nailed it first time. Now, if nobody recognizes that, you can look at Faith Walker's answer because here's the answer here. These symbols mean the legend of time. And that's what we've been going on with with the Bigfoot, because we was getting to the Bigfoot. Also, then we got into the healing, and then we started reading the hieroglyphs. Now we're doing the Fibonacci sequence, but it's all connected. It's all related. So now I want to give everybody 3 more test questions before we begin. You should all pretty well know this. Here's the next symbol. This is the next symbol in the Fibonacci sequence. I guess I could have got the X a little straighter, that line in the middle. Yes, Malcolm. Yes, she got it right. You got it right. That's correct. Now we're looking on this symbol right here. This is the next symbol in the Fibonacci sequence. Now I'm going to also give you the next one. And then I'm going to give you the next one. Now these right here are the 3 symbols that we should be able to break down, or at least tell me their numbers. Starting with this one, tell me what that number is in the Fibonacci sequence. Then tell me what this number is in the Fibonacci sequence. Then tell me what that number is in the Fibonacci sequence. Now, the first, oh, I kind of gave you the answer. I wasn't trying to just give you the answer, but I wanted you to realize that you know all this. This is the Fibonacci sequence. You know all this. So I'm going to go ahead and give an answer. Right here we have 1 plus 2. Here's Earth. Earth is 3. Now the reason this one is next, remember, and see, all we have to do is think about it. Now, once the conjoining of the sun and the moon and earth come together, we need to get our elements of life. Yes, Faith Walker, you got this one and you got that one. Perfect. This one right here, the elements of life, which is ether, fire, earth, air, water. This is the number 5. Number in the Fibonacci sequence. And the number 5, hey, all right, Faith, good job. Damon says, yes, Faith, that is right. All right, everybody, we're getting this. All right. So this is the symbol for the 5 elements of life, but this is also the symbol of the moon or the female and the erect or the male. This is the symbol for a standing being. Let me go ahead and write that down. And we all need these 5 elements of life to be here. And we all need the sun energy to stand erect. Remember, the male, the man is the erect, the blood, the light. But this is the symbol, or the number 5 means the 5 elements of life that the baby needs to advance. And as Faith has already said, this is the number 8, and this is the number 13. Now, I want to go over this part real fast. Let's see if I can get this lined up better. Now, everything correlates with everything else. So, like I tell people, I don't just teach astrology, the history, the hieroglyphs. I also teach, like cosmology and things like that. So when I'm talking to people and I say that cosmology is us, it's the sun and the moon, it's the earth, it's our entire body. And when we know all this stuff, it's easy for us to heal ourselves. Give me a second. I'm going to get a drink of water. But I'm glad that we are on really good tonight. And I'm glad that everyone's picking up these symbols, because this is the Fibonacci sequence that nobody in the world has deciphered except us. So we have the sun in movement, but when it touches water, it gets the wave. It's also called a sine wave. We'll get to that. This is the moon with the earth inside of it. This is the moon symbol. This is the 5 elements of life symbol. And now we're going to get to this symbol. But also the word cosmology. Also the word cosmology right here. This part is man, which is right here, or sun. This is woman, or moon. And of course, this is earth. And just reverse that. And I always say reverse that H at the end, because it's a recycling, and that spells heart. So the crown, the C of cosmology. Remember, this is male, female, earth in the middle. Earth is shared. Everything is shared from here to here, and here is shared. The man is sharing with the woman is sharing with the man. Earth is the combination or the balance of both. So cosmology is in all of us. The word C means crown, or the crown on your head. The O, that's the pineal gland on the top of your head where the energy comes in. S, that is your spinal system, your spine or your electrical system. M is your chest and breast area. And your chest and breast area is, well, here it is right there. Here's the chest and the breast. It's got that hump, chest and then breast. Now, the O in cosmology, the second O, is earth. That's the center. That's the heart. Remember, we said that's the heart. When you reverse it, that's the heart. That's the heart and the heart line. Equal day, equal dad, equal night, equal mom, equal sun, equal moon, man, woman. This is the sun side. Right here. This side right here is the sun side. This right here is the moon side. This is where the woman takes over as far as the minerals and the essential elements of life. I'm sorry, I was going to think of something else. So now we share everything. We share the electrical system. We share the pineal gland. Even though there's only one, we still share it. We share the crown. Uniformity. Now, the earth here in the middle, that's the heart. That's the center. We share the rib. This is the L. The L is the rib cage. The next O, because remember, this is sun, this is man, this bottom is moon, this is woman. So now we're moving into the other O of cosmology, which is the womb. She is the womb. And the womb will be like this, and the tomb is up. Man is tomb because we can't have the babies and we can't produce, but we do have the seeds up here, the spark of life. The woman, the womb is downward. So the womb of the circle, because we're half man, half woman, half sun, half moon, it goes in different directions, but we'll get to that. The O is the womb of the woman. Now, like we talked about the other day, in cosmology, we are right here. We're not birthed yet. The earth is not birthed yet. It's being held in place by the deceiver who has the appendage stuck in the left eye of the baby. So we're the baby. We're right there. We're not in the G yet. And the G is the birthing tract or the G tract that the baby comes down. Here is the Y of cosmology, and that's the portal. That's the Y of the woman where the baby comes into this world. Now, everything is in us. Earth, we are Earth. We are a part of Earth. So when we get to, I'm going to go ahead and advance this another number. So whenever you get to right here, now we're going to another section. Now we're into 21, 34, and 55. Now, this system is set up as a man-child, a baby man-child. And you'll see this in the Bible also of a man-child. And this does correlate with the Bible also. So this first section here is like the development of the man's side or the man-child side. Now we do know what 2 plus 1 is here. Two plus 1 equals 3. That's the moon with the child. But this we just did the man side. Now we're going to do the woman side. Kind of like that. Because together it would be like this. So now we're working on the woman side. That's the 2 plus 1 or the 21 in the Fibonacci sequence. Because as the DNA goes down through our body, if we start with the man, it goes to the left side, goes to the woman's side. The DNA does. So this is the cerebrum and the cerebellum. Right here. This is cerebrum, cerebellum. This is the parts of the minds. So when we go to the next one, we hear is the voice. When we come down, then we get into the chest and breast, the heart and the stomach, the genital and the hips, or the thighs, and then the knees and the feet. And then the cycle comes back. It returns. It comes back like this. Or this, remember, this is the sun in motion. This is the sun in motion. But in astrology, you're going to, well, let me get to this part. This is the sun in motion. This is the horizon. This is the horizon. Now, if you look at it kind of sideways, you're going to see that this is the 8. what is called the infinity symbol, or number 8, in the Fibonacci sequence. But this 8, the number 8 is right here also. If you turn it sideways and kind of look at it, you'll see that that's an 8 also. But this is also just the returning of the sun. It turns back around. And you'll see this in astrology. They always start off with the circle, because it's all Earth, and then they'll draw this. This is the sign line. This is the heart line, the line of truth. But this is also the womb and the tomb. Here's the tomb and here's the womb. And so we have it listed like this. I'm sorry. There's the tomb and there's the womb. This is the sun. This is the moon. This is solstice, summer solstice equinox, winter equinox. This is the woman's side. This is the sun side. Now, when the rotation happens back in spring, we're getting those minerals again. So now we're at 21. Now it's the woman's side. And if you're a woman, your man's side was made second. If you're a man, your woman's side was made second. It goes one section first, then the next one, and then back to the man, then back to the woman, then back to the man. So we're going through each other's, the man and the female DNA. And it's always going to be that way. And that's the electrical system. The number 8 is the return, the electrical system. And that's what flows through our body. This is also called the sun's annulum. But the sun has to go through each body part and then return, which causes or creates the infinity symbol, or the number 8 in the Fibonacci sequence. So if you look at the solar sun's annulum, which is right here, you can look this up. You're going to find this symbol. You're going to find that it's like this. And then you're going to find that it's going to be tilted. And then you're going to see that the summer equinox is over here. The winter equinox is over here. This is the equinox here. I mean solstice, winter solstice, summer solstice. This is the equinox here. But you're also going to see that the equinox doesn't line up right here. This right here is the throat of the being. It's the same thing right here. It's the throat of the being of Earth, which is also us. So on April 15th, and that's the date, April 15th, you're going to see presidents, you're going to see chiefs. Everybody wants to be the voice on that day. But you're also going to see if, like Indian people or anybody really, if you're protesting on that day, or if you're resisting on that day, or protecting something on that day, that's the day that they're going to come in and shut you up. That's the voice time, the voice energy, the voice mineral. That's whenever they want to put whatever they want out there, but they want to shut you up on that day. They don't want protesting. They want you to fall in line. So they're going to tell you, you're going to have a presidential speech, you're going to have a chief speech, the corporation leader speech. You're going to see maybe the Vatican on this day. Actually, I know you'll see the Vatican on this day because they want to be the voice. But you'll also see protesters getting really hurt on this day, tear gas used on them, beating them. They're trying to shut that voice up, but keep their voice going, because we are susceptible, because we are made of all feelings. So that feelings and those words and vibrations travel through us. And when that happens, we receive everything if we don't know how to block it. Okay, give me a second here. Let's see. I'm going to try to do this just like that. I know it's going to be a little off. But now that was the Fibonacci sequence. That was up to the letter. Oh, actually, that was up to letter 55. And I said that we would see that 3 and 4 again, or the number 34. But you also have to divide those numbers up. 21 is 2 plus 1, the moon with another egg, or the moon with another earth. Now we're merging the man side with the female side. We're merging the two eggs, the sun and the moon. We're starting to develop the second side of us, because me being a man, I am man on my right side, female on my left side. And a lot of people don't know that they are man and female. We all think that we're all just man. We all think that we're just woman. But no, we're both. And also you can, if you ask a friend or a child or somebody, especially a child, because they won't be thinking anything. Ask them to get in the doorway. Ask them to lean to the right. You'll let them stand any way they want to, but let them lean into that doorway. And then let them lean into the other side of the doorway. And you're going to see the male and the female side. The male side, and if it's a woman, it's the same way. But if you see, put a child there, say it's a boy child or a man child, let him lean to his man side. And he'll lean over there and he'll have this man kind of lean. Then tell him to lean to the other side, and he may put his arm up like this, or he may do this. We naturally do it because we are man and woman at the same time. And that's why I said, don't hurt anybody, because if you hurt a woman, you're actually hurting yourself. If you're hurting a man, you're hurting yourself either way. But do that little test, just for fun. Have one of your child, or even your husband, or even your wife, or someone. Just have them lean in the doorway, and you'll see the difference. You'll see a macho side, and you'll see a female side, and it never fails because we naturally do that. Michelle Ebb says the Metron Cube, 6-sided, the flower of life, is the daisy of death. Damon Wolf. So M plus W plus 9 millimeter equals 13. Is that 9 millimeter like the weapon, or is that the M plus the W plus E? Well, no, we can't use E because that means energy. But Earth is M plus W plus B, because that would be the number. So instead of the 9M, put a B there, and that equals 13. And see, you're already, some of these, like you'll see these equations in, universities or in movies and things, and they'll have things like M plus W plus B equals question mark or something like that. But you would know that. You would say, that's man, that's woman, that's earth, or the baby. That's the 13th. That's the first part of the Fibonacci sequence. Now we go to the woman's part and develop that, which is the 21, the 2 plus 1. The woman is 2. And the 1 is the advanced of everything's a plus 1. 34. We just talked about that earlier. That's the 3 spiritual binding sections plus all 4 of all the essential body parts and minerals. And the 3 are the spiritual binding. Those connected Now we're connecting the male and the female together. Now we're coming together. Now, somebody please tell me what number 55 means. Uh, Let me catch up real fast. JP says, was going to say the standing being symbol. Looks like a Metron cube symbol. You are right almost there, JP. Now you can look up some of these things, but if you go across right here like a kite, you're going to see the man inside that which one is it? I can't think of the name of this cube, the symbol, but it's all over. It's all over like astrology, and I want to say it's no. I don't think no one else has got it really that I've seen, but it is in astrology, and that being inside that cross and everything, and the five elements of life, that is an erect, standing man or woman. JP says the reptilian people in charge tend to put the hand over their eye. Yes, they, like I said, the Vatican, the world, they're taught this from birth. We don't get the same education as they do, as they teach their young ones, because they want their young ones to overrule and to stay at the top. It's a false it's a false authority. They're deceivers. They're not the authority. Earth is the authority, and everyone who is connected and is from Earth is the authority. No one's over you. And they will cover that left eye. Most of the time, it's going to be left eye. I haven't really seen them do the right eye, but I know the left eye. They're saying if that's blinded out, we've got that. Now we're working on this eye. The whole thing is a game called the end game. It's happening on other planets, other worlds. That's what everything's being trying to be done here. That's why all the Indian nations are pushed into the middle, so that all the predators can push into the middle. It's a trap designed millions and millions of years ago, billions, but we know it. We know the trap, and once you learn all this, you're going to see it. Nothing can get past you. JP says we need more protests in Australia. Oh, okay. I'm not up on that, and I stay away from the TV and things like that because I know it's all manipulation. So, Faith Walker says April 15th, tax day too. Yes, tax day. They're taxing you. They're saying you are ours. You work for us. You do what we say. That's why tax day is there. It's to quieten you because you're supposed to be writing, filling things out, and giving money to them. These things, I mean, just like you're talking about April 15th, these days are energy days. Every 21st is a power energy day. That's when the sun moves into the next one. That's a power day. Uh, the heads of the states and Vaticans and stuff, once you know this, you know when they're going to make an announcement. You know when they're going to be on TV. You know when they're going to have ceremonies because they follow this. And there was a quote, but I'm not sure who made the quote. But it says, millionaires do not use astrology in these ancient languages. Millionaires don't do that. Billionaires use this. So you're getting information that is not actually supposed to be given out to people unless they're with the royal family, you're their children, or if you're in that line, or the Vatican, the popes, they're supposed to know this. They're trained on this. They know, if they see this, they'd be saying, why is this guy, who is this guy, and why is he teaching all this? Nobody should know this. They think that all this knowledge is theirs. Whenever this knowledge comes from our people, before they got into the archives, before they raided the temples and the pyramids. So I'm sharing all of our ancient sciences. And if somebody can also tell me what the word legend means, there is a word that means legend. Rock says, when Biden, is it Biden or Biden? I don't know. I don't keep up with that. He said when he makes a move, he says Yowie. And Rock put laugh out loud, and Rock says, I'm keeping it low volume tonight, but I had to make my comment. I'll be gingerly cleaning my bat cave. And JP says that maybe why the left side is less physically strong in most people, the feminine side. It's actually that way because we're not taught to train our female side, or we're not taught to train our male side. We're trained to only train this side. Now, the reason for that is this side has to do with growth, agitation, sporadic actions, yelling, fighting, anything a child would do. This is that side. Now, the woman's side has to do with what's the word? It's I want to say but the woman's side is about figuring everything out. Before you go and jump into something, the woman's side or the left side is for you to figure things out. You take the information from here, and when it meets in the middle, the woman's side for me, this would be the maturity, the adulthood, the something thinking. It's where you have clear thinking now. Now you can weigh this and this together. And this is what it does. It weighs everything. It says, what's the best solution? What's the best answer? So we're not taught to work both sides. Although, like I said, the royal families and all that, they do teach their children to use both sides. And you'll see some Japanese children like this too. We need to advance also and work our left side. And even when you're working out weights, you always have to work out that other side, work out this side. And I always try to keep everything even. I throw left-handed. I don't write as clearly as I should left-handed, but I can still write left-handed. But it took me maybe 15 years ago to really start working my left side to get everything to where it's natural. It does its own side. And you'll notice your body will take care of you once it's trained. If you've got a scratch or itch on the back of your leg, your other leg will reach over there and scratch it for you. Your right arm will reach over and scratch the left side, just like that. We train each side the same, and remember to do that. If you're lifting something with the right hand, train it with the left. Do the same thing with the left. Start writing left-handed. Start throwing left-handed. Start using that other side that we're not supposed to be using. And this side also has to do with art. So start doing art. Start painting. Get your artistic side going. Get your feminine side going. And if you're a female, it's the same way. Do the same way, just opposite. SMA says, I find men tend to sit cross-legged like a woman with one side only. Noticed it a while ago. Always had a little laugh to myself about it, especially the real manly men that say they would never laugh out loud. You are correct, SMA, because I see it all the time too. But I'm looking for things like that. A guy will put his right leg, or it really doesn't matter because it's just showing that you have a feminine side, you have a woman's side. But you'll see if you look for these things, you'll see it, and you'll even see it in yourself. Like you may uh, when you're combing your hair, you may when you're messing with your hair, you might like, huh, and then kind of you want to look your best, but the guy side is like, here, let me just throw a cap on and go. But if you're like spraying, you touch with your left, you're gonna look like, maybe let me fluff it up a little bit or something. We have both sides. We have to realize that um, because this is how our DNA works. It doesn't work with just a man side. It has to be balanced. It has to be balanced, male and female. That's the DNA. The DNA is going from the male side to the female side, male organ to the female organ, male organ to the female organ. It's going back, it's correcting. And that's what we were talking about in the healing booklet that we have. And like I said, also, if you want that healing booklet, I'm going to put my email address on here at the very end. So you could get that healing booklet, go back about 3 segments, watch that segment. This will make perfect sense to you. Malcolm says it's a portal. Oh, that was for the 3-4. I believe that's what you're talking about. I think that's what it is. But the 3-4, remember, that's the 3 spiritual plus the all 4 sections of the body. The head and here, the shoulders is 1. Then you go down to your waist, that's 2. Then you go down to your knees, 3, and then your calves, ankles, and feet are your 4th section. So 3 and 4 is 34 in the Fibonacci sequence, and that's just your spiritual binding plus your elements of life, and that every section is covered. That's your 34. And Malcolm got it right. Legend means science. It means the original people science. It means these sciences. That's what the word legend means. SMA says problem solving. Yes, that is that side for problem solving. Your left side is problem solving. This side is for sporadic, erratic, hot tempered. And that's why we have to train our children also. Teach them to be calm on this side. And when we're growing up, they're going to be all over. They're balls of energy. Don't deny them the use of their energy, because I'll see people just trying to tire them out or trying to, give them milk or things like that. But that energy is there for a reason. He'll wind down. He'll sleep when he's got to sleep. And also, when you're on and using the healing booklet, your energy is going to go rise. It's going to go through the roof also. Don't deny your energy. Don't try to force it to sleep 8 to 10 hours. It's only going to need 2 to 4 hours, sometimes only 1 hour, because your body has now got energy. Now it's electrified. It doesn't want to be sleeping 8 hours. It doesn't want to be sluggish. It wants to get up. It wants to move. So when you are on this system, your body will start getting energized and electrified. It will change because it's starting to ramp up now. It doesn't have to slow down and try to fix something. Now it's fixed. So that means that your sleep patterns are going to be off. Don't worry about that. Get used to it, but rearrange your life around that. You can wake up 3 or 4 times at night. Get up, get you something to drink, go to the bathroom, just use that energy and go back to bed. But don't deny your energy, because that's what you're doing. You're healing yourself to get that energy back. Don't deny it. Don't deny the children their energy. Let them run and play all day. That was you back then. You just slowed down. But using our healing system, you'll ramp back up and you'll be playing with that kid too, as long as they want to play. Weighing pros and cons of the long haul. Yes, SMA. and being able to step into other shoes. Yes. This is, I mean, we know, just looking at other people, we are trained to think that that's somebody else. That's nothing to do with us. But when we see other people, that's us. You know, if those people are hurting, we're actually hurting. If those people are hungry, we're actually hungry. We all share the uniformity and the cohesion. We all share the same um, energy. It's all from the sun and all from the moon. Malcolm, you are correct. You are absolutely correct. Number 55. Oh, you put number 55. Yes, somebody please tell me what number 55 means. Now, I will give you a hint. The number 5, the number 5 is the 5 elements of life. For the first part of creation. So now we're looking for that second part of creation, which has a 5 of its own. So here is our male side. This is the side that gets developed first. Unless you're a female, then your female side gets developed first. This has its all 5 elements of life. Now the 21, the second, the second side, the female side. Now this is getting its 5 elements of life. So we are like this. I hope I can see this. 5 here, 5 here, 5 here, 5 here. 5 elements of life here for the man, 5 elements here for the woman. Your number 55 means a male and a female joined together. And you'll see that at the solstice and everything. But we'll get to that too. Okay, now also, I just want to go over, because we are getting close to our ending time tonight. I just want to recap over the last part of last night, because we are heading to camp tomorrow. We will not have a 9:30 stream tomorrow. We will post that. And like I was trying to explain earlier, that if you do subscribe to the channel, that you will get the updates whenever we start streaming, or when we announce that we're going to put a stream in. And whenever we get time to do that, we will do that. SMA says she's lagging a bit, but she's there. Okay, great. And I hope this works out pretty good. It seems like we're having a good feed tonight. So in your vehicles, when we get out of the vehicles, wherever we're at, I mean, if we're around a lot of people, don't worry about these techniques. But whenever we get to our night camps and our ceremony areas and tracking areas, when you get out of your vehicles, do not slam the doors. Close them gently. Everything, don't be the disturbance out there, because if you've got nothing but quietness, like my house, I don't have a TV on, don't have a radio on. The only things that you really use, maybe the air conditioning and the lights. But I can hear any ping, anything drop, any sound outside. And that's the way it is in the field. If you're outside in the field and your phone goes off, like mine did that one time, or if your spear or your knife hits your weapon, it's going to make a clink. That's not a normal sound out in the forest. And every predator, every animal is going to turn around and try to find where that noise came from. So we got to be as quiet as we can. Bring duct tape and cardboard shirts, old shirts. Put them over your dash light when we go to camp at night and things like that. You don't have to do it during the day. But when we're going into the camp area or areas to where if your headlights come on automatically, we need to cover those up. Anything with light, especially with the night camp, anything that gives off light, we've got to cover up. Radios, anything, watches, phones, anything. Let's see. SMA says, I could do this all for the rest of my life. Me too. Faith Walker says, good job tonight. Thank you. Thank you, Faith Walker. We really do appreciate all your help and everything. SMA says, I love learning this, Jerry. This is the real information of life. Yes, and I used to give 4-day camps, and it was just never long enough. People always had to come back for another camp, and was learning a little bit at a time with them. But with this stream, we're able to do it every day, and it's just like being at a full camp where we don't have to stop. We get to take our breaks, go do our daily things, but we get to come back and learn every night. Yes, this is information that has to do with everything. I mean, once you learn all this, you'll see it in everything. You'll be able to explain. Although your language will be different. But don't rush the other people. I used to do that, and I would just get them so confused. And that's why I decided that just talking about the Bigfoot and all that is not going to work. I have to go all the way back to before time began to start there, so that when we move forward, everything makes sense. Everything falls together. And but when I used to just give the answers, I used to tell people I can't just give you a one-word answer, because if I do that, it's just going to lead to more questions. I need time with you. I need to talk with you for a long period of time. We need to converse. We need to, email or whatever. And then we found this stream, which was great, because now we can do exactly that. Go all the way back to before time began, before we had darkness, before we had predators, and move up to where we are now. But we still will advance. We still got a lot to learn and a lot to share. Faith Walker says, I tried to stay out of the sun and move only in the shadows in the woods today. That was hard. Hey, Faith Walker, I'm so happy to hear that. But you were covered more than what you think. I know that sun was there. And remember, we call people who get in that sun shiners, because you do shine. Stay in the shadows. Use that brush. Use that tree. Use that rock, because it's being used against you. Learn where every rock is, everything is. But I'm glad you're doing that, Faith Walker. I'm very glad you're doing that. SMA says, you all have the best time. I send my prayers and love to you all, and I know it's going to go well. Have a safe and good time all. Thank you, SMA. We will do exactly that. And we can do that because we know what to look for. We know all the traps. And when we know that, we can do our scouting to make sure everything's okay. And then we can really have our fun. But it is for a ceremony, but we will have a great time. I know we will. The weather is going to be great. We're going to have good people there, good conversations. And that's the best. And that's the earth also. The earth is working with us. The earth knows that we're going to go give a ceremony for the water, for the moon. We are the sun. We are man going to thank the waters. We're going to be with earth. We're going to let the earth know, the water know. We are the sun and the sun, to know that we are still here. We are still protecting you. We still care about you. And we know that we are a part of you. So those are the things that we're doing for the ceremony. And like I said, it's not a Bigfoot expedition, but we will be in areas where Bigfoots are. And I can almost guarantee you on that first night, our first night camp, they will come close, but we will have our thermals. We will have a plan. So let's not worry about that. The next night when we're out in deeper in the forest, that is also Bigfoot territory, but we will get there quietly as possible. We won't slam our doors getting out. We will be observant for at least 30 minutes, maybe longer. We want nature to show us what's going on, or we want that predator to make a mistake, and that's how we do that. Um, Anything that rattles in your truck or vehicle, anything that's loose, secure that. Make sure it's binded down, it's wrapped down. Take anything like cans, bottles, things that might roll and make noise. We need to go in as quietly as possible, so secure those items. Also, if you have long hair like I do, when we're in the field, hair goes up. You don't want it to snag anything being used to use that against you. Hair goes up when you go into war. Hair down when we're at the first campsites, or when we're enjoying our talks and everything, or when we're doing our tactical training at the camp. Um, you can have your hair down right there. No hats. Hats cause a horizon, like I was talking about yesterday. It glitched out, so I wasn't sure. So no hats or brimmed hats. Everything has to be uniformity. Everything has to be in vertical. Everything in the forest is vertical. It all goes up, so it all comes down. Anything horizontally is an oddity, and that's what we're going to be looking for. And yes, like we talked about yesterday, trees do fall, but that's an oddity also. But we will check that out to make sure that tree fell instead of being broke or pushed over or pulled down. But when you see those horizons, horizontals in a vertical forest, that's an oddity, and those are things that we're looking for. And also, you also look for that too, because you will find that that's where traps are being put. Also, we're going to look for heads or shoulders of a man or a beast or a Bigfoot. We got to also look for those oddities, high and low. No change in your pockets. Don't have any, and if you can, leave money in a secure location, maybe your glove compartment or someplace, or in your bag or something. Don't carry change whatsoever. And we talked about that the other day. We was on another mission a long time ago. Um, we had to move quickly. One guy had change in his pocket. Short story is we call him Jingles now. So don't have change in your pocket, anything loose. Secure everything on your persons. Secure things in your vehicle and your property. Phones at the lowest set. I thought mine was set. Make sure you double check it. I thought mine was set. Mine went off in the field one time. Malcolm was there. I was like telling Malcolm, Mike, turn it off. And he goes, that's not mine. I was like, oh, so. Now, when a Bigfoot knows that we're using their trails, because you have a human pathway, a human hiker's trail, you have an animal trail. A Bigfoot has their own trails. It's further back, it's not seen. But when a Bigfoot knows that we're using their trails, they'll leave. They'll get out of there because they know that we're not hikers, we're not hunters, we're looking for something else. And they don't want to be the something else found. They do have that fear of being found out because it has to do with their food. But we also got to be observant at that time when we're on their trails, because they're going to move away. They're going to try to figure us out. Be observant when we get on their trail, because they will move, and being translucent, you can still catch them, but they will be moving. So let's be observant. Lights attract. Bigfoots and spiders will make this orb. They will make a light to attract prey. Even if you're in the woods, if you see a light in the woods, you're going to look at it. Some people actually try to go see what that light is and have those stories of hearing things. Also, gloves. Gloves that are real tight, not those big work gloves. You want tight gloves, leather gloves, cotton gloves, but make sure they're tight fitting, because we don't want scrapes. We don't want scratches, because any little scrape, any little scratch is a blood scent. And we don't want to put blood out in an area where there's multiple predators, not just Bigfoots, but there are other things. So we don't want to do that. Wear gloves always when we're in the field, when we are in the field. And of course, this is a moving camp. We went over that. Also, if anybody would like to donate a camera or any gear, everything is appreciated. So we have a safe time, and it's always great to have everything we need. And that's just if anybody might have had a thermal imaging camera that we could use or anything like that. I know that we don't really have time now because we're going to the field tomorrow, but maybe on the next outing, next camping time, that if you do have a camera like that, and if you are coming to camp, please bring it. It does help keep people safe, and we're going to show you that because that first night of camp, there should be some Bigfoots coming around our areas to see who we are and what we're doing there. I know this area, and they're everywhere, so let's be very observant. But if we can get any kind of cameras or things like that, or the people who are coming, please try to purchase yourself even a handheld thermal imagizer you can get off Amazon. I want to say they're from 2 to 400. I got mine a long time ago whenever I was working and everything, and right now I'm in between, so I do have time to do all this. Okay, Damon says the real truth about the spark of life would be a good name for this. This is everything, and it does start with that. So that's a good idea, Damon. SMA celebration is the best things to do for this earth. Thank you thank you for everything, everyone. Yes, we are doing this for the earth. The earth is in trauma. We know about the puncture. We know the left eye. We know the earth is in trauma. We are the good. So we are going to go and acknowledge, earth. We acknowledge the sun, the water, the moon. Just to know that we're still here. We're part of you. We're going to protect you. That's our job. That's our duties. That's our responsibilities as warriors, is to protect the earth and the people of earth who have that connection. Malcolm says, what is a good food to take? Right now we're just taking like dry goods. So even if you have canned fruit, we don't want scent out there. But while we're at our other camps, we could have canned fruit, peanuts, apples, water, cookies, chips, even Oreos if you want. Bring some chips that you like. Let's limit the meat. Now on Sunday when we're done, I think we can go and maybe if we have enough pushed together that maybe we can all go and have a breakfast or maybe some donuts or something. Just kind of give ourselves that little day after feast that you have after a ceremony. The day after everything's completed, everybody gets together. We all have a big feast together. We talk about the ceremony. We talk about what we did over a feast. And for us, our feast is everything that we brought. Like I'll bring some things, Malcolm, Damon, the other people, whatever you bring at the very last day, we're all going to push all of our food together, all of our water, all of our drinks. We're going to share it evenly. And if it's too much for us to eat there, we're going to divide it evenly so that everybody goes home with the exact amount of everybody. Everybody's the same. Everybody gets the same. And that's also what we're doing here with the knowledge. Everybody gets the same knowledge. So that's a good food to take, but let's stay away from the coffees and the pops for while we're out there because we don't want to cramp up. We want to have some water and some salty kind of food. So bring you some Pringles, mostly just snack foods, but we're gonna make it, and we can eat as much snacks as we want. And you'll find that once we're eating apples, oranges, and things like that, we're not going to have a thirst and hunger. Bring the peanuts, things like that to snack on. Raisins. Let's see. Just like some finger food. You could bring celery, peanut butter. But we won't have any meat at the camp. But on that Monday, we're gonna have a feast. We're gonna divide everything up. So maybe and we can bring donuts too. I think Malcolm, if you get here early enough, I think we can get some donuts. I think they're only like about 39 cents a piece, so we can probably get a couple for the road. Uh, Malcolm says no sardines or bacon. No, not this time because those have a real heavy scent, especially sardines, and we don't want to go out there and definitely not bacon, Malcolm. If you ever watched any of these other Bigfoot, even the expeditions, and they're out there cooking Bigfoot, that they're just calling because Bigfoots love pig, wild hog and things like that. And if you're cooking some of their favorite foods, they're going to come running. uh, Rock says, I toasted some almonds, sesame seeds, pink salt, and honey. It was pretty good. Better than I thought it would be. And I peeled up pretty good or pretty easy. That might smell too good though. That sounds really good. Now to us, we're going to ingest, something like that. We're not going to exert that. But if we've got the sardines and the bacon, those even come through your pores, and every breath you talk, it comes out. It's just like it's a welcome call to come eat. I've seen some other Bigfoot people on expeditions, which they got to the camp, they build a big fire. Like I said, don't build a fire. They started cooking steaks and seasoning it up, which I said, don't cook out there. Eat somewhere else, then come to your camp. And then they went out scouting, which now they're carrying that scent everywhere they're walking. So it's not just here, it's everywhere. And of course, they did have Bigfoots in their camp at night. They were petrified, scared. They'll tell you this. It was close to their tents. It was looking for who smells like seasoned steak. And every one of these people smelled like seasoned steak. Um, yeah, Malcolm. I like that too. Okay, so also don't forget to clean out your cameras. What I mean by that is if you got pictures on there, maybe 2 or 3 extra pictures of the same picture, find the very best one if you want to keep that one. But it's better to have a blank SD card so that your film can carry and that it doesn't run out or says that it's filled up. It's better to have a blank one. But if not, go through it. Even your phone, go through it and take out the unnecessary pictures so that you have a lot of pictures and film to capture whatever we see out there. And also batteries and chargers. Make sure you bring your chargers. Make sure you got batteries. We will have a few extra batteries thanks to uh, Faith Walker. I don't know if she went out already. Also, we will be doing tactical weapons training. We're going to be learning how to work with each other out there in the day camp, not the night camp. By the time night camp comes, we're already going to know. Also, when we get to any place we get to, observe, scan. When we're out in the field, it's 5-step stops. We're not going to rush anything. We want to make sure we're not the disturbance. Remember, the tents will only be up when it's time to sleep, or if we use them as a decoy or cover. But we won't have tents out during the day. Bring a lawn chair if you'd like, so that we sit in it. We are going to leave those at the night camp, but we will pick them up the next day when we go to the other camps, or when we get back and we're going to go back to the day camp. Remember, we all will be taking shifts, so we will be sleeping at different times. I'm a 2 to 4 hour kind of person, so I don't need much sleep. So if people do get tired, I will take an extra shift. But we need at least 2 people on duty at all times. We need people looking this way and that way, this way and that way. One person, we that's a hazard. We need at least two doing this. Um, oh, the hand signals. We was going to do that tonight, but I wanted to recap because there are so many glitches. We will go over the hand signals tomorrow at the camp when Damon gets there and the museum people get there. Katie, if she makes it in, and I think that's when we're going to do some streaming. I also put hand signals at camp, but we'll also stream and show how we do things and keep you up to date. So, and that's what I was talking about. So if you subscribe, you'll know exactly when we come on because you will get a ding that this subscriber or this channel is going live or it's streaming. It will show up on your phone or on your computer, but we will show you and stream some of the things that we were doing. So you'll be right there with us, and you will know that if I was at camp with these guys, this is what I would be doing right now. I would be going over tactical training. I would be going over how to walk. I would be going over stealth. I would be going over how to look for certain oddities. I'll be doing mapping. I will be doing, we're going to be doing a lot of things during the day so that at nighttime we know each other and we know how to work with each other. So that's the very safest way for us to do this. And that's the best way we can capture other images because we know what to do and what we're looking for. So we will be streaming from the camp. When we get a chance, we'll be sporadic. We don't have a certain set time, but we do know that we will not be streaming at nighttime. That's when we're quiet. That's when we're in the field. That's when we have to be on our best, observant, focused. That's when we have to be at our best. When we are in situations, or if we know that situations can arise, that we have to always be on our toes, ready to go, as warriors are. So we will keep you up to date, and if you do subscribe, that we will be able to stream, and you will get those notifications. Okay, so as Fibonacci, everyone, we are at 0 day. Just like the Fibonacci, we are at 0 day. We're not moving yet. We haven't hit that water. We're not grooving. We're not in the air yet. We are at 0 day, just like the Fibonacci sequence. Tomorrow, just like the Fibonacci sequence, we are at 0 day. Tomorrow, we're moving. We're getting to our camp. The third day, we're going to be resting right here. And we're going to be out in the moon with Earth. And then the next day, we're going to the mountains, more Earth. So even if we use the Fibonacci sequence this way, it's still the same way to use it, but it's the correct way to use it. Move a certain way. Use those elements of life. Return back. And then we'll return back as ourselves. So that would be the same thing as this whole top line. We're here right now. We're going to be moving tomorrow. We're going to be with the moon, night camps, Earth. We're going to be at the ceremony for Earth and for the rivers, the Kamish River. We're going to be carrying medicines and elements of life for the ceremony. We're going to return back safely. Once we get done, we're going to return back. And the 13 is the baby symbol, but that is also us. So we're going to return back as ourselves, safe and sound. So we're moving out tomorrow. Malcolm, if you're still on here, I will be ready at any time you make it in. And if you make it in early, hopefully we go get a couple donuts before we head out. And but when we're at camp, it's all dry goods, water. Before you get there, you can have coffee if you need it for the morning. Like we said, donuts. Just till we get to our base place, I guess you would say. Damon, the location for the meeting, I'll send you the information as well. But Damon, if it's at the Talamina State Park, Malcolm and Damon, since my phone is not working right now, if you two could, I think you should have each other's phone numbers, but I will also write down those phone numbers because my phone doesn't work, and we are going to be in the mountains, but at least we can leave you messages, and I will get the location. I mean, I know it's if you go once you get to Telehina, you're going to come to 271, which is right in the center of Telehina. That's 271. You're going to follow 271. You'll go past the high school gymnasium. There'll be a Mexican restaurant. A little further out, there'll be a small burger restaurant. And it's not real far from up there. It'll be the first kind of campsite that you see. It'll be off to the right. There's bathrooms and showers there. There's kind of primitive camping here, but then there's going to be RV camping, and we're on the other side of the RV camping. So we do have showers and toiletries. So don't worry about that. And we'll be paid up with everything tomorrow. Um, so Damon, I will contact you in a little bit or in the morning because I want to do some more packing. I want to make sure I got everything ready. I want to make sure the foods are ready. I want to make sure I got the laundry done, the dishes done. I want to make sure everything's done. So when Malcolm shows up, I'm ready to go. And I am ready to go as far as just going, but I want to make sure I get the dishes and everything done. Um, uh, Damon says trail mix works great for me. Yeah, I love trail mix, especially when I'm out there on the field like that. Trail mix it even has the M&Ms too. So, oh yeah, you can have, candy because we're going to use that sugar to keep going too. And there are M&Ms in that trail mix. That's a good one too, Damon. I like that. SMA says, I want pictures, guys. Please, please. We will bring back pictures. We will bring back video. We will have uh, streaming when possible. And hopefully we can put like a little film thing together and show you exactly what we did and everything. But we will be doing a lot. But we will get pictures and video back here too. And on Sunday, when I return, I'll go back to 9:30 p.m. The Central Time Zone. We'll start back with the regular time zone. I may not have all the film and the pictures up, but I will have some. But next day, I'm going to spend like 2 days with this, Sunday and Monday. So your Labor Day, extra day weekend, 9:30 p.m. Central Time Zone. We're going to go over what we did at camp. We're going to show you the pictures, show you the video, things that we found, things that we did, so that you see how we perform at these camps, things that we do, so that when you come to camp, and I hope I see a whole bunch of y'all at some of these other camps that Malcolm and Damon, we're talking about getting together for more people because a lot of people couldn't make this one, but this one has to be done. So I would love to see a whole bunch of you who's been paying attention, watching this, learning, because I know I don't have to start teaching you out there. I know that you already know what to look for. I know that you already know what these symbols mean. You already know how to be quiet. You already know how to maneuver. Those people I love having around me because, when I have people like that around me, like Malcolm, he was there. I knew that, he was looking at, different things, but also at the same things. And if I miss something, he got it. Or, he's got my back, I got his back. I look over his shoulder, he looks over mine. And I love it whenever we have a lot of people who know or have the same information, the same knowledge. Then we go out there, we're the most well protected people on the planet. Not just physically, but spiritually and mentally. Like we talked about, blocking things out. Um, Damon says, yes, I have a portable Wi-Fi. All right, Damon. So we will be streaming. We will get some information out to everybody. I really want people to see what we're doing, and that we will have a good time, and we are going to have a good time, and that you too will have a great time with us. And it's I like it even better when we're sitting around somewhere, and if we do uh, one of the camps that we travel a distance, and we could have a campfire, but as long as it's a populated area, I don't have a campfire on the isolated. I mean, a campfire in an isolated area. But if there's like vacationers and stuff, and we see what I do is I'll get a campsite where it's populated, but where we're camping, our main camps, as far as out in the field, are totally different places. But we come back to those camps to regroup, to go over the next day and things like that. Now, at those places on the last day, we can have a fire. We can kick back because we are surrounded by a whole bunch of people. Uh, and these other people will alert us. If oddities happen, uh, you will see an oddity if somebody spots a Bigfoot out there, because they will let everybody know. um, SMA says, SMA says, awesome, Damon. Yes, that's great. I'm glad you got a portable Wi-Fi. Now I know we can stream, and now I know that we can get information to you, and now I know that you can see what we're doing while we're doing it, and that's going to be really good. SMA says, cannot wait till I can be there one day soon. Yes, SMA. Whenever we're at camp, also with Damon and Malcolm, we're going to be talking about what's the best time for our next camp, what's the best location, uh, where we possibly may want to scout out, things like that. And then we'll come back once we have that information, and then we'll promote that camp for the next one. And I don't know how your schedule is, SMA. I don't know if you're talking about you maybe that one day soon, maybe a month from now, maybe 2 months from now. Uh, but we would love to have you at camp with us. And please, if you can, visit this stream as often as possible, because we are advancing and we're showing more and more. We're already up to the number 55 in the Fibonacci sequence. Nobody knows that. If you look on any YouTube channel, they can only show you the spiral. They can show you kind of how it works, but they don't understand it. You're the only people in the world who understand this now. Um, Malcolm says, will the base camp have power access to charge batteries, or is it primitive and needs to have plenty of batteries? It will have electrical hookup, so we can charge in there. But I'll have some batteries too, but we will have, and also at the other camp place, there is electrical. So, and if we need to, there's stores, or we will find electric if we have to. But at this campsite, I believe it does have an electrical hookup for us, and so I don't see a problem there. Malcolm says, sounds good. Okay. And SMA says, sounds good. Thank you so much, Jerry. Love, peace, and blessings to all of you. The whole crew here enjoying the ceremony in camp. I'll be waiting for the stream. Yeah, I can't wait either. We've been having to put this off for a long time. And finally, we just have to do it now. And actually, the guy who we've been waiting on, he still can't make this one. He's going somewhere else for a good cause. But we can't wait anymore. We have to, the earth is, calling us and letting us know that you're sharing all this. Now do it. Now walk your talk, I guess you say. And Damon says, you can call me. I will be up. Okay, Damon, I'll be up too, because usually after I get done here, I usually get something to eat, and then I'll watch the stream again. But if the stream doesn't have glitches, if it doesn't have glitches at the beginning, I'll skip to the middle. No glitches, go to the end. No glitches, then that saves me at least 2 hours of going over things, stopping, seeing what I missed and everything. So I'll be up too, because I usually eat right after this. I go over film or the stream, and then I prepare for the next day of the next step. Like today was the 5 elements. The electrical circuitral system, the sun movement, and the symbol for the baby, and then the woman side being developed, the 3 fours of the spiritual and the 4 connections, And then we got to the 55 of the male side and the female side with both sides of 5 elements. So we are advancing, and so please tune in. Tomorrow again, it's going to be sporadic. So I would recommend that you do subscribe so that you do get the updates of when we do go live. But if not, it will be on the stream. It will be on YouTube, and you still can see it later if you can't make that stream. But it is also good to be with us right there in that live stream. SMA says, I'll be waiting for y'all or y'all. Sounds good. You will see me one day. And SMA, I know I will. I know I will see you one day. Okay, so that's everything for tonight. I had a great night again. We covered a lot. We got to recap. We went over the announcements. We got to recap. We advanced further with the Fibonacci sequence. Faith Walker Malcolm, you were already reading the hieroglyphics. You are already reading symbols. You already know what they are. You're advancing fast. You know how the DNA works, how it repairs, how to heal yourself. That we do have a male and female side. We have to take care of both sides. And I did have a great night again sharing with everybody. Malcolm says, thank you, Jerry. Good night. Good night, Malcolm. Cliff. Malcolm says good night or great night. And I'll see you whenever you get here, Malcolm. Is the perfect time. So do what you have to do. Don't rush. Damon's going to be a little later, so it's no real rush. So do what you have to do. But whenever you get here, I'm ready to go, and I'm ready to be at the camp. Right now, I'm ready to be at the camp. So we will get to visit a couple people in that area because I want to go by and talk to the owner of the property. Again, Malcolm was with me last time we did that, but I want to go again and talk with him to let him know that we're going to be there at a certain time. We're not going to disturb him, but at least he's going to know that we're going to be there, and he will appreciate it because he does have these things around that visit from time to time, and he likes company. So Faith Walker says, we'll keep y'all in prayers, have fun, and accomplish much. We are going to do exactly that, Faith Walker. And I want to appreciate. I want to thank you again for how you helped, and everybody else. There's SMA, there's Cliff, Malcolm, Damon, Rock, Universe. I don't know where she's at, but there's a couple more regulars here that's been keeping up. There's some other guys that they watch later, but they always leave good comments, and I know that this is a very good group. SMA says, night all, glad to be back, and we're glad to have you back. We was asking about you last 2 nights. And she says, thank you, Jerry. Well, you're very welcome, and I'm happy to share, and I'm glad we have people who are interested in listening because this truth is everywhere. Now you'll be seeing things different. I'm sorry, I do need to get something to eat. I was busy today. And but I'm going to close for tonight. We will have sporadic live streams tomorrow, but we will be bringing back pictures and videos. And Sunday and Monday night at 9:30 p.m. we will be getting back on regular schedule. But I'll also be sharing pictures, things that we did there, videos if I can get that up in time. I can get most of the videos. I'll get that up for Monday night. Pictures I can do Sunday night. But we want to share this with everybody, so we want you to know that when you come to these camps that we're planning, that it is the very most safest possible way for you to be there. Plus, you're going to have a great time, and we're going to share a lot more information there. Malcolm says, "Not everyone." SMA says, "Amen, faith." And SMA says, "Night, Malcolm." Okay, so everyone have a great night. I'm glad you were here so we can share this all together. Share this with your friends if you have people who are keeping up with this. Let them learn the Fibonacci sequence. Let them know how creation works. Let them know how to heal yourself. Oh, let me put my address on there, email address on there for anybody who may want a booklet, a healing booklet. And just all you have to do is send me an email and I will send you that booklet. And we cover that booklet, I would say 4 days ago. So if you go back, you'll see that we explain the entire booklet. And all you need to do is just get your booklet and watch that video again. But of course, if you have any questions, please, contact me and I'll explain something. But also, learning the Fibonacci sequence, you're going to see how this healing booklet is the Fibonacci sequence, how the story, the legend of time is in this booklet, how it's in us. And we're going to get to more things, more knowledges. Right now, we're at 55 on the Fibonacci sequence. And we're going to stop at 144 when we get there because that is a birthing. So thank everyone again. Malcolm says night. Malcolm says thank you, Faith Walker and SMA. Yes, thank you, and thank you, Cliff. We do appreciate you, y'all, so much. So everybody, have a great night. I will see you during the live stream. You'll see Malcolm and Damon and whoever else is at the camp. I believe the people from the museum is going to be there. If Katie, if you see this, if you can contact me, I'll give you that information. You can call me or email me. You should have that. So everyone, have a great night. Oh, I almost didn't send that out. And that is my email address at the very bottom. So if you want a healing booklet, just email me. I'll send it to you. It's free of charge. I'm just sharing all this information. And just like the Fibonacci sequence, the sunstone, everything. I'm just sharing. It's all free. I just want everyone to know all this and to be able to heal yourself, heal your families, and know everything that this world has to offer for us. So we don't just listen to the guys who heard it from someone else, who heard it from a guy who didn't know. So you're getting all the truth and all the facts here. Thank you very much. I had a great night, and I will see you tomorrow. Malcolm, whenever you get here is a perfect time. Damon, when you get there, it's a perfect time. We got time. Thank you and have a great night.